Hello, filthy animals. It's Ben Vanel here. I'm just dropping in to let you know we have another live show on sale. If you're going to be in Melbourne on September the 15th, which is a Saturday, at 4 p.m, please come down to the European Beer Cafe. We are doing a live show. We'll do some fun bits. We'll have some guests. We actually have an exclusive, legitimately an exclusive sort of first look at a brand new AAA first-party game that we'll be discussing during the show. We'll have, some friends down there. We'll have some fun times. We'll have some beers afterwards. It'll be $20. Tickets are available at filthycasuals.com.au, and we'd love to see you there.
Good morning, video games. Welcome to another edition of Filthy Casuals, a podcast about video games, hosted by three very kind and knowledgeable boys. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tommy Dasilo, and with me as always...
Hello, filthy animals. It's Ben Vanel here, and rounding out the trio...
What a year it's been so far. The memories, the lights, the action.
A lot of lights this year so far.
Yeah.
It's been good stuff.
I've seen nothing but lights. That is all I've ever seen. It's just light.
I've seen some action. You boys seen some action?
Nah, it's been a dry year.
Been in the shit?
I've been seeing no action. Let's introduce our guest for today. Speaking of lights, a man whose presence lights up any room he's in.
Oh, wow.
It's friend of the show, Dave Callan.
Hello there.
Yes.
Blindingly bright.
I feel like the best is yet to come with this year.
I agree.
It's
Yeah.
been pretty good so far.
I agree.
Yes.
There's been this. It's August the 9th right now as of when we're releasing this episode.
Yep.
And it's kind of like this midpoint between there's been a weird kind of June through to the end of August. There's not a heap of stuff. So we thought we'd go through and reminisce on the good times we've had so far.
Yeah, we're doing our mid-year review. It's August, and so, 16 months in the year. So what better time to do a mid-year review than the start of August?
The way that it's weighted, the fulcrum you put on the lever, if it's like a seesaw, if there's a heavier one on one side, you put the fulcrum in towards the heavier side. So that's what's happened, is there's so many games coming out after August. The fulcrum. I learned the word fulcrum the other day.
It's a ripper, isn't it? It's good shit.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Carl.
That'd be great if people just call up Triple J when Dr. Carl's on. It's just them asking what words mean.
What's a fulcrum, mate?
Appalachia.
What's that?
Alopecia, I mean.
Appalachia is a special fizzy drink in Southeast Asia.
Is it really? And if you
No.
drink it, you go bald.
But you're right. I mean, the fulcrum should be in the middle of August because it's very much weighted towards the end of the year, as far as I can tell. Obviously these games haven't been reviewed yet, but I reckon October alone is the most lit month of this year, games-wise. It's got Forza Horizon 4, which I wasn't interested in until I saw the trailer, and you can drive around Edinburgh.
Oh, where Adam is right now.
That's where I currently am. It's medium temperature, I believe, right now.
It's great. I just saw the clip, and it's sunset, and there's like a wet road. It's all kind of all slick and everything, great graphics, and you just see this, supercar just barreling down Princes Street next to the Scott Monument.
Right.
There's an Australian comedian bombing in the background.
Yeah. You can go down the Royal Mile and just mow down flyers.
Appalachia is a tasty, sparkling apple cider vinegar drink.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Well done. Based in Melbourne. You were close.
Well, I just
It's
assumed.
also it's a region in America, right? The Appalachian Mountains.
Oh,
There's also an Instagram account with a company that sells apples in Asia called Apple Asia.
Oh, that's good.
So that makes
Wow.
sense.
They really lucked out on the name there.
welcome to a very specific podcast. We discuss Appalachia every week.
But
yeah,
these last couple of months have been utter dog shit.
Yeah.
And every games manufacturer and developer should be utterly ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about the fulcrum being in late or mid-August, but there is some games that have already come out that, there's one that, for my opinion, probably is already Game of the Year, right?
Yeah.
So
That's your opinion, and quite frankly, who gives a fuck about what you have to say?
You're talking about Kirby Battle Royale, yes?
Yes. Kirby Battle Royale.
That came out on the 19th of January.
Really?
And it is not what you think it is. It is not 100 Kirbys dropping into an island.
Oh, well.
The last Kirby to suck up all the other Kirbys wins.
Oh, that'd be great.
If Kirby eats Kirby, he just gets the same powers.
Yeah.
What is Kirby anyway? Like, is he like some sort of pink, like testicle with eyes and legs, or is he a butt, or
I'm not.
is he?
I think he's Greek.
He's a marshmallow.
Yeah,
A
they've
marshmallow?
never.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever gone into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Kirby is. I think he's a fucking abomination. He's kind of like he's Ditto. He's the Pokemon Ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Play-Doh man who can turn into anything.
I mean, he really does. It just reminds you of a simpler time, because you look at him and calling him a character is a stretch. Like,
Yeah.
there's absolutely no design to him whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just a circle with eyes on it. You couldn't announce a new character now and go, check it out. It's a fucking stick.
It's so weird as well that we don't know what he is, but like he is a he. That we know Kirby's
yeah.
gender
Yeah,
before
yeah.
his
We
species.
don't know his orientation, though.
True.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's
Yeah.
not assume.
Yeah.
No.
If
Probably-
Kirby, well, if he sucks up someone else, maybe he becomes whatever they are.
Ah, interesting.
right.
Interesting.
Yeah. Woke.
It's, they're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for new IPs when they're giving games to these kind of weird characters like Captain Toad, for example. It's like, was he really the next in line in the Mario kind of gamut to get his own game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't particularly like that game.
I like it a lot,
Do
but
you?
I don't like Toad. Pisses me off.
It's what they're gonna end up doing.
That's what I found.
Like with Star Wars, with all these separate ones coming out, it's going to be like, and now that fucking guy who got his arms cut off in the bar, we've got a whole movie about him.
Yeah, Bumface. A Star Wars story.
Kirby plays him, 2 butts. Yeah, there's a lot of other I'm looking forward to that Spyro remaster
Yeah.
thing that's
Yeah.
coming out in September.
Yep.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, you'll be honking that.
my favorite.
What else have we got? Towards the end of the year, yeah, Forza 4 comes out, and then it's like
Do you thi-
Assassin's Creed is in that month as well.
Yeah,
The new-
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Spyro will hold up now to someone who's never played it?
Yeah, I reckon.
Really?
If
Okay.
you like platformers,
Yeah.
but it is like the platformer where you're just collecting shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to go in, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be tricked again into buying something that then comes out on the Switch 3 months later.
Oh, yeah.
And they keep
It's
their,
likely.
that game. They keep being all these at the moment, retailers doing the whole listing it for Switch and then it quickly being taken down.
Yeah.
I think that's happened about 4 different times.
It'll
so-
be the same Crash Bandicoot thing where it comes out in a year for that.
Yeah.
Battlefield 5, Soul Calibur 6, Red Dead 2.
Yeah. Soul Calibur, I'm a big Soul Calibur fan.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm very much looking
Yeah.
Well, you like a sword game. Interesting. I wouldn't have picked that.
Turns up with a bag of swords,
Yeah.
like swords games.
Yeah, you literally, we are not joking about this, folks. Callan turned up to my house with a sword on his back.
For a ninja class afterwards, which since we saw the sword, you are failing so far. You are not. Fallout 76 is coming out. Smash Brothers. There's a whole bunch of shit towards the end of the year,
Yep.
but it's already been a fucking corker of a year towards the front half. I reckon.
Would you describe it as a corker?
I'm pretty liberal with my use of corker, though.
Okay.
I would say there's been a couple of good ones, but not. I mean, especially coming off the back of. It's not fair to compare it to last year, which was maybe one of the best years of games ever.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
But pretty slow. Save for a couple of rippers.
Yeah.
It's not been super consistent so far. I don't
I reckon the two most must-play games this year so far, probably Far Cry 5 and God of War.
Yep.
Probably for me, but there might be another few must-plays, but I'm not sure. Those are the ones that stick out big time for me.
Yeah.
The Far Cry 5 DLC so far hasn't been great.
I haven't
played
played any
both
of that.
those, yeah.
What is it?
It's
so
the
far?
Vietnam thing.
Yeah, so they got Hours of Darkness, the Vietnam one, which is good, but it's very much a small map with kind of very basic objectives. It's a really basic version of the original game. The original game is far more fun and interesting to play. But I played through the Vietnam one. Halfway through, I was playing it, and I realized I didn't know much about the Vietnam War, and I wanted to get some context. Don't do that.
No, that's a great way to suck the fun out of being in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the War Museum in Ho Chi Minh, and
Yeah.
it's one of those ones we kind of loop around and go up each floor, and it just gets more and more horrific the higher up you
wow.
go.
Really?
By the time you're on level 5,
Yeah.
that altitude is kicking in. It's just horrific
Dangling
stuff.
from a helicopter as it tries to.
Yeah. That's where they introduce a bit of Agent Orange into the whole thing, and it's like, oh boy.
Yeah,
It's not a
it's not
good
good.
drink.
Agent Orange, also a sparkling cider, yeah. From, Melbourne. We'll make you go bald too.
Oh dear.
Known in some parts as Orange Apacia.
I couldn't get into Far Cry 5 as much as I wanted to for some reason. I loved 3. I played heaps of 4 and liked it just about as much as well. And I don't know if it was just the time and there was other stuff going on when 5 came out, but
I got to go back in because it came out like at the start of the comedy festival. So I
Yeah.
played it a little
Oh,
bit in the first week and then got busy and then went away, and I've moved house and it's still in a box somewhere. But I was thinking the other day, like, fuck, that just completely passed me by.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying it's there.
You filthy casual.
Yes.
he said it. It's one of those ones where there's so much shit going on in it too. There's so much stuff to do that it's a little overwhelming. If you're like, I have 40 minutes here.
Oh,
And we
yeah,
talked about it on
yeah.
the show. I'm really bad at it. So
Yeah,
it was just
right,
like,
that's right.
there was a week where I was just trying to do the same, like one of the first missions again and again
yeah.
and again and again and just couldn't do it. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
I remember because I played the first few hours of that game and I was trying to figure out the point you were talking about where you like, I played it 50 times and there was nothing.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Right at the start, you just have to follow your allies through the camp, and if you don't go quick
yeah.
enough, the mission restarts. Surely it was that, right?
No, it wasn't that.
That was frustrating, yeah.
What was
Because
it?
it did, yeah. It happened to me.
I just walked, I just followed them.
Interesting.
I
You're
just-
a follower. You're a real follower.
Yeah, I did what it told me to. And, we had to get out of Vietnam eventually, but I was following my orders
You
well.
know, there is at the start an ending of the game, a special ending,
Right.
where if you refuse to arrest the cult leader, the game ends. You walk out of the camp, and that's it. The credits
Really?
roll. Yeah.
Do you join the cult? Do you get a man bun and a gun?
You get a man bun and a sword.
Ooh.
Man
love
Bun and
a
a Gun
good-
is my sister podcast to this. Me talking about hairstyles and weapons.
I like a good fake ending in a game.
Yeah.
In Cave Story, there's a great thing where it's like you're on this base and it's like about to blow up, and you're sort of, you're meant to be going back in to rescue someone or whatever. And there's something like there's a scientist there, and he's like, "Hey, I've got a thing, and we can escape right now." And you just go, "Okay," and then it's just you flying through the sky with him, and you go, "Oh, okay, I must be turning up somewhere else," and just nothing happened. Like it just
Right.
stays on that screen, and then you have to work out, "Oh, okay, I have to restart this and go back to the checkpoint and actually do the right thing."
That's
Like,
right.
actually
Nier
finish the game.
Automata had a lot of those fake endings where there were like 26 endings. There was one for every letter of the alphabet. And most of them were just kind of joke ones.
Right.
So it'd be
Right.
like ending K, I remember, was someone gave you a fish and they're like, I want to see what happens if androids eat fish. And you eat it and it's like, well, androids die if you eat fish. And then it plays the credit sequence really quick, like
Yeah.
and then makes you restart, and it's a bit of fun. Far Cry did that same trick a couple of times with I think 3 as well, and definitely 4. You could like wait for Pagan Min to come back because he tells you like wait here for 10 minutes and I'll come back and we'll be all good.
yeah.
And if you do that, it's like good, you followed your orders.
Yeah.
Again, the right thing to do in any situation.
The Kirby game on Switch that came out a few months ago, which I really, really enjoyed. Does
Star
that.
Allies.
Star Allies, yeah. Has a fake ending where at the end of the first world, you fight King Dedede, and it does that, like you beat him and then it comes up with a credits thing that rolls through really quickly, which is weird because it's sort of like trying to have a joke like, imagine if that was the end of the game, like this quickly in. It's like, this still is a very brief game. Like,
I like that quick credits thing, like you've just watched a movie on TV and
Yeah.
they fast forward through them because they want it to be the length of an ad for the block,
Totally,
so they
yeah.
can get the next thing on.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kirby. So Far Cry 5,
Yeah.
you're into.
Yeah. Look, at first I was like, oh, this isn't fun, this one. It's too realistic and it's too much of a familiar setting.
Right.
The other ones were like all tropical and kind of Himalayas and stuff, and this one's like Montana. And I'm like, oh, this is a bit kind of dull and a bit of hard work, it feels like. And then there was a mission where you had to cut testicles off bulls. And I was like, no, this is loco. This is properly Far Cry 5 crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
back in. I'm back on board.
That was always the thing with Far Cry, is that it's weird how they kind of smuggle it getting weird into making the start a little bit like a humdrum shooter.
A little bit
kind of thing.
boilerplate, yeah.
And then you get to that mission where you're burning the weed field or whatever.
Yeah,
And
five has you steal a souped up semi trailer and race it through the it does have some weird stuff. I loved 5. I finished it.
Yeah.
And I played a lot of extra shit as well. Played arcade. I played a lot of arcade maps and stuff. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the series, and I think it's the best one in the series.
They just give you a whole load of like fun toys to play with. Some of the weapons are crazy, and you've got the vehicles. I love the Spitfire, like the old World War II plane. You can fly about in that.
Yep.
That's great. And then there's, of course, those kind of planes that land on water. They're a bit novel and fun. And then you've got jet skis and, combining weapons and jet skis. That's always fun.
Yes.
Just jumping off a jet ski, guns blazing.
I preferred that style of like open world game in first person personally too. Like I played through Grand Theft Auto 5 in first person again when that was the re-releases of that. And Red Dead 2 has a first person mode apparently.
Right.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, they put that into that for release, so I'm going to probably play through it in that.
Yeah, right.
I like to pretend it's me.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That'll be interesting. Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I much prefer third person.
So if you're on like Skyrim or Fallout, you'll go third person, will you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that because I don't play a lot of first-person shooters, so I just have a lot of trouble getting around the fact that you just can't see as much of what's going on around you.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like if you're in first person, I'm just constantly getting hit from behind, and it's like it's just this. Grow up. Having that third person where you've just got that bit of extra field around you that you can see.
Yeah, I tend to vehicles. I'm always third person. I hate being in the cockpit in the driver's seat. I love that. Yeah, that extra view.
Even on something like Forza, or are you talking about GTA style games?
No, even a Forza, a Gran Turismo. Prefer to be able to see the car. I don't know why, but yeah.
The VR mode with Gran Turismo was cool in first person because you can look behind your shoulder.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe I'd love VR first person.
But also at the same time, it does still have the same problems where they've rendered in the fucking big side. What do you call that bit that's like holding the windscreen in?
A column?
The car. You can see big fucking metal bits of the car, so you have less field of vision anyway because stuff gets obscured, which happens in a real car, but not to the same degree for some reason. You can move your head around more easily and you have more of a better spatial idea of where everything is.
In real life.
This wonderful description of what it's like to sit in a car and look around.
You can move around.
True.
Sometimes the seatbelt catches though. You gotta pull it out a little bit.
This is great content.
And on a hot day, if you sit down with shorts, you can get branded by the seatbelt buckle.
True.
Yeah.
And then you've got to pay for having thrown up in the back. It's extra every time I
$50.
drive.
Cleaning fee.
The other one we mentioned there that was probably the biggest game of the year so far, God of War. We might as well get that out of the way too.
Again, at first I was like, oh, this is terrible. It felt so railroaded, and the opening hour or two is totally on rails, and there's not much you can do. And you're watching cutscenes for most of it.
Yeah.
And then the combat was basically almost like those timed events where you press a button and suddenly you throw
quick time.
your quick time event, and you throw a guy through another boulder, and I was like, oh, is this the whole game? But then slowly it relaxes its kind of grip on you, and it allows you to do more and more things, and gives you more powers and options and abilities and stuff, and it ends up ramping up quickly.
That's true, and I think that's a valid criticism that the beginning is a slow burn and could be a turn off. But I think when it opens up, that slow burn becomes like you see, oh, you kind of needed to do this because now I'm so adjusted to the core mechanics of this game that I can do all this extra shit on top as well.
Yeah, I like the way that I like stuff that's on rails, so I didn't have that problem with it. I also thought that was a really good way of it teaching you how, because that's where games kind of fall over a lot, is teaching you how to do stuff without it just being a thing coming up going, push this button to do this. Actually having it be kind of part of the story of what's going on. Yeah. I just thought that, throwing that guy through the boulders, I thought that something that kind of epic happening so early on in the game, I was like, fuck, if this is the first hour, then there's going to be some good shit coming up here.
It's so weird that boss fight so early on, though, because it's really long and it feels like
ages.
you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Because you're whittling away his health so slowly, and then he's recharging. It seems as though shit's gone wrong, but... that fucking game is so good.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's way up there in things I've ever played. It's fucking fantastic.
It takes sort of the emotional elements from a Last of Us and the cinematic elements from an Uncharted game. The mythology stuff I'm personally really interested in. Visually, it's one of the best games that's ever been made. It ticks just about every box, I reckon. Yeah.
It's got that kind of still fast combat from God of War mixed with like a slower paced, almost Resident Evil 4 type thing where you're aiming and shooting, and it's
the puzzles, like
and it just even just little things about like the way it's designed that are kind of in the background that you don't even notice. Like I didn't realize this until someone pointed it out that it's all one shot, it's all one kind of camera, and there's no loading times or anything. So like the little bits where you'll be on a lift going up to another bit and the characters are talking to each other, which is kind of like getting some story stuff out of the way. But then you realise, like, oh, it's loading the next area in the background. Like all this stuff that's so seamless about it that once you realise it's there, it's like, yeah, it's so good to play a game where you're not just like every 5 seconds like waiting for the next bit to load.
Even when you do the fast travel system in it, you walk through a door and then go into that other realm thing and just walk around a bridge for a certain amount of time until it's loaded. And it's not incredible that you're like walking instead of loading. But they have the little head, what's his name? Mimir says interesting things that you have.
Get up, brother!
All right, I'll stand for the rest of it. I'm sorry.
That was Callan talking.
That's my favourite, maybe my favourite thing of any video game is him yelling that at you when you die. It's so good.
All those
Get up, brother.
The little interjection things that you have while you're traveling around on the boat as well.
The boat stuff,
They're so much better than a lot of games do that sort of background chat, like in the GTA games and whatever, where it's like they're
cringeworthy.
Yeah. The fact that the boat controls how it does as well, because you get into the boat very early on in the game, and I was like, just bracing. Boats usually control like absolute shit. Like it's so hard to steer around. And the fact that, so I got up to that, there's a bit like maybe one of the first things you do, and I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And you get in and it's just fluid. Like they haven't worried about trying to make it feel like, it handles kind of choppy. Like a boat actually, it's just like, you just push the stick and it just moves so freely. Like those things in games where, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like where you get like, you're trying to do like a bad reverse park and it just takes forever, and it's like, this shouldn't be a challenge. Like, this shouldn't be the challenging part of the game.
Totally. They've put the effort into making the animation look fluid and make it look like he's really doing it. Rather than you having to fucking use both fingers for the oars or whatever.
Yes. I will say I think I'm about, I don't know, I'm nearish the end. And then I went away and I put it back on the other day because I was like, I got to finish this. Got that sweet new telly, which we've either talked about or are about to talk about on the show.
I think we've talked about it.
Yeah.
We've done a full episode on it at some point.
Right, yeah. And so, it was like, I got to finish it off now. And I had not played it for long enough where it was like quite difficult to get back into.
Sure.
Just remembering because you accrue all those like secondary moves and everything as well. I just could not remember how to control anything.
Right,
So I needed to devote like an afternoon to like sit down and actually I thought, I'll just play a quick like half hour of it. It's like I'm going to need to really go back in. But I'm looking forward to doing that.
That's funny, the idea of like that whole thing being in one shot. So if you were seeing like the filmed version of your playthrough of that game, about 3/4 of the way through, Kratos would just stand there for half an hour throwing his axe at shit, being like, how do I do this again? I've fucking forgotten.
Where's my shield?
Literally, that's what happened. I had to do a bit where what's it called, where you've got the hooks and you can like grab the flame things and then you have to chuck them somewhere else to like activate. I couldn't remember
Helheim?
I couldn't remember how to do that.
Thomas.
I'm dumb. I'm dumb, guys.
That axe feels amazing though, doesn't
Yes.
it? Like the way just the physics of it and the way like it rumbles in the rumble pack when you catch it again, it just feels legitly kind of realistic.
That's the first time I did that.
Chunky and good. Like the sound on it is fucking it's good. Him like holding his hand out when it's coming back and like just every little touch of it is really really cool.
The first time I did that, I was like, all right, here we go. This is some very good shit.
And it feels good to do every time you do it for hundreds of times throughout that whole game. It's crazy.
Controversial statement. Who reckons it's not overly a God of War game? Like compared to 1, 2, and 3, which is basically a 2D kind of like slash 'em up. You're just throwing these weapons out and like fighting all these myriad enemies that just come at you. This one, like, it's not even set in Greece. It's 3D. He's got a completely different weapon for most of it, and he has a shield, and it's just, I don't know.
As someone who marched in 2004 to protest the Iraq War, I have to say that I think war is deplorable, and this kind of glamorizing of it through the medium of video games is, I think, pretty reprehensible.
As someone who really believes that the religious influence on the world has created a negative impact overall, I think that the God part of this game is pretty problematic.
Okay, I mean, I voted for Bush. So.
I've never played God of War before, so I can't. But I thought that was what was really good about it, was that it's a bit of a soft reset in the sense that like you can.
I was kind of surprised at how I thought it would be completely different just from all the stuff we saw of it before it came out.
And it's not numbered or anything. It's like...
it seemed like a full read, but it's surprisingly closer to those early ones than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, it is different, but I think in like a kind of modern and interesting way rather than like... I think it's probably smart what they did.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And I've played 3 and I think some of 2.
Yeah.
And I loved 3 at the time when I was 17 or whatever I was, and I think this is more of a game for me now, which is good, lucky for me.
I think those ones are still good.
Well, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
If you went back, I bet they're still good, those games, but they put out enough of them that I think they kind of done what they could do with that type of thing, and I think they made something new and interesting. So
I guess moving to the kind of the the Viking pantheon was a good idea because of all the gods they have there and stuff, but it doesn't really fit with the story because he wanted to retire from being a god of war, and he wanted to live in a little log cabin with his son, and then he picked a place where there's all these crazy Viking gods. Why didn't he go to like Thailand or somewhere? Like, he could have like just been peaceful with Buddha.
That's kind of a good point. I get like towards the end, maybe the story explains some of that a little bit, I guess. But no, like he could have just gone like, nah.
Well, where the Buddhists at? Hang there.
If he goes to Egypt next, it's like, come on, man.
Oh, what are you doing?
You had to know.
I'm gonna go to Vegas. God ain't here.
Oh yes.
Or he could go to India and just be fighting Ganesh like a big elephant head guy.
Oh fuck yeah, that'd rule. That would be sick.
Well, there's some like there's a little kind of side little teasy hint thing that maybe they'll do like Egypt and do all of those, which would be fucking sick. I want to see him kill every god.
Yeah.
Just everyone that there is. And then the last one, just do Christianity. Fuck it.
What a Kentucky tour that would be.
Yeah.
Your little sidekick's Nietzsche in that one.
That'd be so funny. Him is like his head attached to your belt. He's like, God is dead. Not yet, but he will be.
Get us writing for it. Get us on board.
God of War, really good. So I've got a list
here. A great
here.
time, and we should just one quick thing to point out too. Like I think we're all. I assume you're on the same page as we are, Dave, on the show. Big fans of your single player games. None of us are that into your online multiplayer. A great win for the genre of just a dense single player. As much as it's moving, the industry as a whole is moving further and further away from that. In the last 2 years, between like even just Breath of the Wild and God of War, like probably 2 of the best examples ever of just solid single player with no
Solid
online
campaign.
bullshit.
And some of the best-selling examples of
exactly,
it too.
Always good to see actually getting numbers.
Other than those two, though, I've got a list here of every game released this year. I'm going to read every single one out and then give me your reactions at the end.
Okay.
No, I'll read through like which ones kind of seemed significant to...
AAA titles, if you will.
AAA, maybe a couple of indies will sneak in there, the cheeky little buggers.
I've been playing a lot of indies this year so far.
Indies like... Well... I don't know what it says. Street Fighter V Arcade Edition came out earlier, and people seem to be okay with Street Fighter V now. I don't know. Do you give a shit about Street Fighter, Dave?
Street Fighter, the fifth one, it's a bit like No Man's Sky in that when it first was released, it felt unfinished and it felt very basic, bare bones. But they've added to it and they've kind of made it the game it should have been when it came out, which is it's good but frustrating because. Why did they release it when it wasn't?
Yeah. They really got rinsed for that.
I was undercooked.
Yeah, like No Man's Sky struggled under the weight of its expectation. Like they people were just expecting it to be something different. They still delivered a product that I think they thought, well, this is good. But Capcom are just there going like, we'll fucking chuck all the rest of the stuff in later.
And for them to have this whole like legacy and shit that they then, to use a too extreme word, betraying, but it's not a betrayal. That you can never betray something with video games. You're not like undercutting a king.
Should have said fulcrum instead.
What does that mean?
Word of the day.
But you're right, it is one of the most beloved franchises in gaming. It's
And
got one of the richest heritage.
to half bake it and then later on
Yeah.
go. It's just again like a modern thing to be like, yeah. We'll get it out. We'll get it to you eventually.
In my day, you bought the disc and that was it.
Yeah,
It
there was
wasn't good, it wasn't
one
good.
version of Street Fighter 2. Wait,
Hang on a second.
but it seems like people are back into that and they fixed that. So that's cool that came out earlier in the year. Lost Sphere is something I don't think any of us ever touched.
No.
The RPG.
No, I played the demo, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and it didn't grab me very much. Yeah, I was at the time I was aware of Octopath Traveler coming out down the track. Thought it would be coming out sooner, and I was like, I won't play Lost Spear. I'll wait for this.
Yeah, it seemed it like very much a similar thing in that kind of RPG revival. Subnautica.
I swear, one of our listeners did play Lost Sphere and was like, yeah, it's no good.
Okay, right.
So-
Because I remember people liked I Am Setsuna, which was the same people, but again,
Are you playing Octopath, Dave?
Yes,
Are you liking it?
I do like it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
people seem to really be split on that. People seem to either like really hate and go like the story sucks, this isn't interesting, I don't give a shit about it, or the combat is good enough for people to be like, yep, I love that, and it's getting me through it.
Yeah, yeah. It's very like Bravely Default. You know, the first Bravely Default in 1 and 2. It was it's the same, pretty much the same team, I think, because they have the same combat system. So if you've been playing this game, you know the combat system where you can either save up, you know, these 3 kind of like lights, if you
Boost
will,
points.
Yeah,
yeah.
and then you can kind of either use them all at once to do special moves, or you can kind of default to build them up. So that's where Brave is when you use all the points, and default is when you save them up.
Right.
From the original games, that's where the combat system came from.
Saving up your boost points and just absolutely letting rip feels so good. It's fucking great. Cool.
The flybys of video games. Subnautica is something I really want to play at some point. Haven't
Me
gotten around
too.
to it, but like for a game that's basically one of those survival games, it looks fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Have you tried any of it?
No.
It looks great. I want to get back around to that.
People,
Subnautica.
people said it was what No Man's Sky should have been. It was like a purpose-built, detailed, open-world survival game that was underwater instead of in space.
Yeah, and so you have like weird, interesting things that have been built for you to find, rather than expecting this random generator to make them for you, which was maybe the mistake of No Man's Sky deep down.
Procedurally generated stuff is never as good as human design. I find.
Yeah.
It's just because it's so random in nature, and I really like level design and the artistry that goes into cleverly creating chokeholes and bottlenecks and open areas and the variety that they have, and humans design that better than a generated randomly kind of computer.
Yeah,
Totally.
for now.
The machines will rise.
Yeah, when a computer can do art is when we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Man, I reckon there's a lot of computers that could do a lot of better art than some artists.
But that's also fair.
Celeste is a fantastic game that came out in January as well.
Yeah.
God damn, so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In to stand out as a 2D retro style platformer is fucking hard, I'd imagine. But
I kind of ignored it initially because I thought I didn't really know what it was. I thought it was just an 8-bit looking side scroller. But yeah, it fucking really got its hooks into me.
Yeah.
I loved that game.
it's got a little bit of that exploration element that makes games like that kind of pop, and everything that you do throughout the course of it is again just inventive and designed to subvert whatever expectations you have from the last level and stuff. Controls really well as well.
I haven't finished it. I've actually only just started it, really. But apparently the story is quite emotional.
Yeah, great story, great kind of what it's getting at and what it's doing. Great ending.
Right.
Like, it gets harder and harder and harder. I got to a point near the end where I was just like feeling like I'm just never going to finish this. Like I'm never going to be able to beat it. And then I just got it in my head one night. I was like, it's happening tonight. I'm finishing it tonight. And I was up until like 2 a.m. or something. And very frustrating, one of those ones where you you die and you feel like you're about to snap the controller in half. You're just getting so mad. But yeah, getting to the end felt fucking great.
It's got some of the best sound design.
Yeah.
Little talking. You know, when like Banjo-Kazooie style, when they go like, rip, 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 rip,
Yeah.
rip, rip, rip. I love the sound of that shit.
Yeah.
Want to put that on repeat and jog to it.
Did you play it, Dave?
No, I didn't play it, but I played a game that was very similar called VVVVV.
Oh, yeah.
Did you play
Yeah.
that one?
Yep.
Which is the same kind of, some of the same dynamics and the spikes and stuff, and you go upside down and stuff. But so I kind of went, oh, that looks really similar. I'll hang back and find out if it's any good. And it turned out it was good, so I'm thinking I should probably go in.
Celeste is great.
Anyone listening who hasn't given it a shot yet, it's fucking great.
VVVVVVV as well, which came out on the. I'm just cold. I think that came out on the Switch this year, maybe, or maybe last year. But that's fucking awesome too.
Yeah. It just looks like an old Spectrum game from like, the mid and 1980s, but it plays so well and so clever. And some of the bits of like Tommy you just described, where you go, I'm never going to get through this, and then you suddenly get this feeling of needing to overcome that particular challenge, and you go back to it, and it's very satisfying to actually overcome a really hard screen in a game.
I wish I could do that in my life. The difficulties like encourage me and inspire me to move on, rather than going like, well, I'm going to play VVVVV instead of dealing with this. It's just one button and it switches which side of the screen you're gravitationally attracted to.
Yeah.
So you just either go up or down, and
But for such a simple dynamic, there's so much that they do with it.
Yeah.
Like passing.
fucking crazy. And like having to do kind of halfway down and then swap halfway, and there's spikes everywhere. So you're having to kind of launch and fling yourself, and the momentum's really well done that you can feel it.
I might go in. I might
It's
get
great.
this game.
It's good, yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighters and Monster Hunter World came out on the same day back in Jan.
Yeah,
You guys
wow.
were both Dragon Ball fans?
Yeah, I
game?
loved the TV show when I was a kid, and this was the only game I've ever played of it, because all the other ones looked like dog shit forever.
The what are they called?
There's like Budokai, and there's a bunch of other
Xenoverse?
ones.
Is that-
There's Xenoverse?
Yeah.
Is some. There's like 100 different shit. I don't think they've ever really made a good one until this.
now, yeah.
And now Dragon Ball Fighters is the like. Because Street Fighter V had fucked up early on, they're like, it's the first time that's become like competitively the kind of main game, like that is not a Street Fighter game, which is kind of cool. And it's the perfect mix of like being real easy to get into, and then there's this massive skill ceiling up the top of it.
Yeah.
All the characters, even though 10 of them are Goku, are all really different from each other and really interesting.
Well, I guess I've not played any others, but it is a game that makes you feel like you're in the cartoon playing in the world.
Yeah.
And for a cartoon about people flying around and shooting laser bombs at each other, it's no mean feat.
Yeah.
And it's so fun.
It's a kind feat. Kindfeet.com, my favorite pornography website.
It's out on the Switch in, I think, September maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in.
That'll be cool. I hope it runs well on it too, because like how smooth and quick it runs is a huge part of it. Because it's very fast. Dog shit story mode, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I like your criteria, Tommy, for a game. Will it be coming out on Switch? That's the only one you've got. Barbie
much.
Horse Riding Adventures, is it coming out on Switch? Great.
Pretty much.
Going in.
Yep.
God of War going to be on Switch. Monster Hunter World as well on the same day. Not coming out on Switch, I'm afraid.
No.
I mean, there is a Monster Hunter coming out, but
There's the old one.
Yeah.
Generations?
This like
Ultimate?
the reversion of Generations.
Yeah.
It's so weird that like every generation of Monster Hunter has been on a Nintendo handheld, and then this one is the only one that's not the latest one. It just they went everything but Switch. Yeah.
I think they've said that it just kind of won't fit on it. It won't run on it.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking good looking game. They've figured out how to make Monster Hunter approachable to people, and I want to play more of that than I did. It was another one where there was so much in it.
Yeah, I was playing it for a bit and liking a lot of the stuff that it was doing, but I just stepped away from it and then haven't been back.
It's very Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
If you don't like Monster Hunter, you won't like this Monster Hunter.
I mean, I liked it. The
Good
combat.
review, Dave.
I think it was just like I was getting into it, and then it was like I think not long after I was playing Bayonetta, and just like the combat in that, or even God of War, I was just kind of like, oh man, I wish this is how Monster Hunter felt. It's very arcadey, very as opposed to what it is, which is, it's it's not bad. It's just like not the style of combat that I prefer to play.
Sure.
Right. I got into it in a big way and I've played a lot of it. I'm not an expert by any means. Like there are people who devote, 600 hours to this game already, but I loved it. I thought it was really, really fun. Having never played one in the series before, I thought it was great.
What was your weapon? What was your go-to?
What did I use? I started with the big Buster Sword style one.
Yeah.
But then I think I have two short swords.
Yeah. Quick and nimble.
Yes. Yeah. Good for a beginner in the game, I think.
Yeah.
I was a sword and shield man because I am extremely basic.
It looks great, and I loved all the very Japanesey stuff about it.
Absolutely.
I loved.
Like your little Nico cat.
Yeah, those sort of cats.
Yeah, that's sick.
The little cross promotion stuff they've done with it too. Of like, I think for the Switch version of Generations Ultimate or whatever it is, there's like a little Breath of the Wild cat, Link
That's
shirt
awesome.
and stuff.
Yeah.
By all accounts, all the updates they've done since it's come out have been really good too. Like fucking seasonal shit, which annoys the hell out of me, where it's there for 2 weeks and then gone.
Yeah.
Because like I can't live by your game's calendar.
Sure.
That's so crazy to demand of people.
I guess it's just encouraging people to mainly play one game.
Yeah, and to come back and that everyone's doing it at the same time so you can get multiplayer and whatever.
Yeah.
But fucking hell, it just is such an annoying thing at the moment where it's like, this weekend it's all, I'm like, motherfucker, don't you dare try and take my weekend from me. I'm living for the weekend. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT came out as well, which is a Final Fantasy fighting game with just one of the worst possible names. Fucking Windows NT is all I think about with NT, which is the worst Windows. Don't call it fucking NT. Dissidia Final Fantasy 90 fucking 7 is like, no, it's just a bad name.
I'll see you in the NT.
Yeah, SteamWorld Dig 2. No, SteamWorld Dig on the Switch, the first one. Never mind. That's years old game.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about years old games when we get to the Switch re-releases. Shadow of the Colossus, the remake of that.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Very
that was
much
a
so.
really
Yeah.
well done remaster, I guess.
Yeah, it's such a nice sort of basic, simple game, but it's really well done, yeah? And looked good.
It looked fucking amazing.
Yeah, it did.
And it did that thing that they've gotten good at, people who are doing remasters now, of keeping what was good about the original and just updating it to be how you sort of remembered it going at the time.
Yes. Yeah.
It's been a good year for that.
Yeah. Dragon Quest Builders was another one of them on the Switch. You played a lot of that.
Loving
Tommy.
it.
Yeah.
Is
Great.
it Minecrafty or Dragon Questy or both?
It's Minecrafty, but there's purpose to it. Like there's a story. Like I've never been able to get into those games where it's just like do whatever you want. Because I like having some kind of direction or whatever. So it's like you getting resources and building stuff, but it's like there's characters kind of like spurring you on to do stuff. They're like, what if you go over to this area, you'll be able to find a whatever.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
and it's divided into chapters. So I think there's 4 of them, and they're each in a different part of the world. So you kind of max out this base and then fight a boss in this one area, and then they go, thanks for that, but now fuck off. And then you wake up in a different area and you start from scratch. You lose all your resources. So it is. So it's kind of like chapters, which is
Can you go back to your other bases that you love and have created lovingly? You can.
You can go back and then just keep working on them freely. And do what you want. But you kind of it's like episodic. So you reset in a different place, and it is a bit of a bummer to lose all your stuff, but it's also kind of cool because you by the time you finish one area, you kind of know it inside and out.
Right.
So to just hard reset and have that sense of discovery again of like, well, I don't know where anything is here.
Right.
Is really thrilling.
Your favourite game opening style is character waking up in the middle of nowhere.
Love it.
This must
With
be
no
your
memory.
favourite game.
Love it. Yeah. Can't get enough of it.
Every
Yeah.
Japanese RPG, it just starts with, you've got no memory and you've just woken up.
Yeah.
Do you relate to that because you're a drinker? Is this something we need to talk about?
I have no memory of this place.
I haven't drunk for a month and I had beers last night and I'm immediately getting attacked for it.
Oh,
God
drinky
damn.
dassolo.
My favourite
God damn.
opening to a game is where I can't find my shoes. I've got to ask for directions to the nearest tram stop.
It's funny that it's funny to bring that up because I'm writing a comic at the moment and that's the start of it. The character is like wakes up on a beach, doesn't know where he is. Yeah.
Classic T-Das.
Kingdom Come Deliverance came out in February. I was excited for that game for a while before before it came out, and it was very disappointing to me.
I was ramped up for that from the previews and from the little ads I'd seen, but then the reviews hit, and it just apparently wasn't all that
Yeah.
good.
Bit clunky.
I played the first kind of few hours of it, and it was just, not like its whole thing of like, we're going to simulate what it's like to be medieval peasant. Turns out that wasn't very fun. It just it never felt right. It was a little buggy. It was just a little off in every kind of aspect of it to me. So
There are definitely people who love it because it is. I mean, it's a niche game. It's not a. It had the release of a AAA title, but it was much more specific.
Yeah,
and there are people who love it in the ways that people love flight simulators, where you have to fucking turn every single dial and knob.
Yeah.
I never played it mainly because of that sort of controversial sort of hubbub
Sure.
about the main dude and the potential racism and stuff like that.
So that's why I did play it. But no, I don't know. It just wasn't very. I don't think anyone's missing out if they skip that one. 'Cause
Yeah,
it reminded me
sure.
more of like there were these old games called like Boiling Point, and like Boiling Point is the one it reminded me of, which was like an open world game in like 2004. Really cool concept and stuff, but just couldn't deliver on any of them because it wasn't
Right.
Kingdom Come Deliver on any of them.
Hello.
Because it just, I guess they didn't have the budget and whatever to do it, and it just didn't feel like a good game.
It's very ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how realistic a medieval simulator is this? Like, do you wake up every morning and have to empty your bedpan and do all that nitty gritty?
Like almost.
Yeah,
It's pretty close to like, I don't think you have to piss. I don't remember doing that, but you have to like fucking go to bed, and you have to, if you want to save, you've got to like do it in a bed or drink a fucking bottle of booze that you can buy for some reason.
Dassilo style.
Yeah.
I'm an alcoholic.
It was just it was just dreary.
Right.
I think was the biggest thing with it.
Righto, yeah. That save system sounded weird. Yeah,
It was annoying, and there was immediately a mod that came out, and it was like, "Fuck this,"
Yeah, right.
and you could get rid of it because it was another one of those things where it just didn't respect your time or anything, like with the Monster Hunter World sort of schedule. Where it's like, what if I'm not going to just leave my computer running with this unsaved because you like? Well, wouldn't it be cool if?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a game for people with no social life or any commitments.
But it's designed to make you fucking. I get that they're thinking like you have to devote yourself to this because that'll get you the most out of it. But that's not fun.
Yep.
Owlboy came out on the Switch. That was a re-release as well.
Hell yes.
That
you
was
guys
fun.
played this year.
Yeah, love that game.
The Secret of Mana re-release came out, and fuck that game.
I
Yeah.
hated that.
Bit tedious, that one.
Secret of Mana not good. Did you play either of these guys?
Did not know.
No. Bayonetta 2
I'd
and
really
Bayonetta
recommend Owlboy.
Really?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
really great.
Yeah.
Bayonetta 1 and 2 came out on the Switch. Again, re-releases, but both of them fantastic games.
Loving
Yeah.
Bayonetta 2, still kind of chipping away at it. I kind of keep forgetting that I have it, and it just every now and then I go, oh, fuck, yeah, play
That's
now. right now.
that's the drinking.
I reckon if
That's the black hat drop.
I reckon if they tried to make a God of War game that was actually close to the original ones, a Bayonetta 2 style of combat is probably the best they could have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are like that sort of Devil May Cry style thing that God of War was also kind of in that realm of.
2 is so good, and it's got me really excited for 3. Them actually being made on the newer hardware and with
Yeah.
a bit more going on will be great.
Fucking Metal Gear Survive came out.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
That game sucks.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
you play
yeah.
any of that?
I played a bit of it. Yeah. I just really missed the original Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear 5, and I was really hoping for a sequel to that, like a Metal Gear 6, with Hideo on board and doing his thing, but they're obviously gone separate ways, and it doesn't look like that will ever happen. And this certainly was not something that would kind of scratch that itch whatsoever.
Totally. It was a completely different type of game.
Just
it felt
a cash grab, right? Just using the
yeah.
title to shift some units. Very
felt like
simple.
a mod to that game, and like
Yeah,
not a
right.
particularly well made one. Just really, again, dreary, I think is the word for that too. It was just this cloudy, boring game.
A cynical.
I mean, I think the people who made it, there were some interviews with them, and they were like, "We're trying," but it's
Yeah.
like, what do you do when you give them $50 and a fucking slap on the back of the head and told like, "Make another"?
Yeah.
Konami have told them what to do, instead of giving them freedom. And you know what? It was the opposite of what Metal Gear was. So whoever came up with the initial concept, that was where it went wrong. Like Metal Gear is all about sneaking about, being stealthy, building up weapons, kind of surveying, and then going in and executing your plan, which was really fun. This is just, kill the waves.
Yeah.
Build the shit.
Grab
I
as
wanna-
many numbers as you can off of them, and then stab more, and then build a fence, and then more numbers and stab more, and oh, well, fuck off.
Don't get me wrong, I love building fences.
Oh, yeah.
And then sitting on them.
Another extremely poorly named game, Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition. We've talked. That's like Final Fantasy 15 didn't come out this year, but fucking naming it Windows Edition.
Yeah.
I like Windows. Whatever. Anyway,
It's a good selling point.
Yeah.
Warhammer Vermintide 2 came out, and I was actually kind of interested in this because it was like a Left 4 Dead style thing, but never ended up playing it,
Right.
as I think none of us did.
Nope.
But that's one I want to loop back to. Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Oh,
Yeah,
I still got to give that a go.
I played that game for the first time using that remaster, and it's fun. It's good shit.
Is it the one where you have crash intersections?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
There was less crash stuff than the older Burnout games, but this it's still a fucking awesome game.
Yeah.
And it's quick and fucking real, just fun, just designed to be fun.
Did
The
you
opposite.
play that remaster, or
Nah.
you remember the original?
Just
Yeah.
from back in the day?
Yeah.
I played a lot of Burnout Paradise back when I was a wee young lad.
Yeah. Good soundtrack.
Fucking like fun soundtrack.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any
Appropriate,
offspring?
an appropriate soundtrack. It's more like I don't remember. It's more like Skater Boy and shit like that. I think.
Ah, yeah,
I don't
sure.
really remember. It wouldn't have been Skater Boy because it was 2009.
Cool.
Whatever 2009's
Oh.
version of Skater Boy, or 8, I guess.
Lots of new metal and skate punk and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
But I don't know if they changed it up for today. I wonder if there's like EDM and
Oh, yeah.
shit like that in the
Yeah.
remaster. I don't know.
I don't remember.
EDM stands for. I'm trying to think of a way to do Skater Boy with it, but there's such different letters.
God.
No, it's not going to happen.
Edit one in later. Fix it in post.
I need a drink.
I'm a Tommy.
March was pretty good. So Burnout Paradise was that. Sea of Thieves came out.
Oh, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous game. I don't
Yeah.
like playing with other people like you guys. I just want to play a nice campaign game.
Yep.
But I got a review copy, and so I downloaded it, and I fired it up, and randomly ended up with a team of 3 other pirates. And I'm the only one who sounded like one, to be honest. the Aussie accent doesn't
Yeah.
work with a pirate game. Sorry, lads. It just-
Those kids would have been losing their fucking mind having you in a team.
Is that guy doing a voice, or is he? What's going on? Is he role playing this?
Yeah, fucking make him go out on that big fucking board we've laid out. What's it called? Plank. Yeah, I'll fucking plank. Do a shoey.
Well, you
Oh, mate.
walk the plank, you bloody landlubber.
Mate, I'm fucking busting to hit the high seas, hey.
Fucking don't bury the treasure. Just fucking leave it on the beach and we'll fang this fucking shit out of here.
Sea of dog cunts.
But like,
Yeah.
I'm picking up all this shit like planks and like bits of apples and bananas and stuff and crates, and I'm like, what is any of this stuff for? And then suddenly some good dude walks past going, oh, I might bring the crate over here, we can get a chicken eye. Oh, this is taking me right out of the pirate game. I'm sorry. And then we're on the boat, and then we get attacked by another boat. They're like firing cannonballs at us. Or we just hit a reef. Yeah, we just hit a reef. There was no boat. And then they're like, oh, if I can get the plank stand stays and fucking board it up, mate. And I'm downstairs like hammering planks into the side of the boat going, this is actually fun. We're helping each other, and I've got a use for this shit I've been picking up.
Yeah.
Then this amazing thing happened. This massive galleon just sailed up to us, and they were like badasses. They had a red ship, and it had like all skulls and crossbones all over it. They'd been playing since day one,
Right.
possibly the bloody before that. The
The beta,
Beta.
yeah.
beta, yeah. So they were on top of shit. They were a tight unit of plunderers, and they've gone. The team I'm with have gone. Oh yeah, fellas, take whatever you want. In fact, we'll carry it over for you. Because they've just gone, we're fucked.
You're on Team Cuck.
Yeah, that's what we were called. So, but then these other guys boarded our ship and just cut us all down anyway, even
Right.
though we'd surrendered.
Nah, sick.
And
That's
then I
good.
thought, no, that's actually how you play a pirate game.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah, these
That
guys
is
Oh yeah,
fair.
I think I was Captain Cook.
Captain Cooked. It's
It had a dodgy launch, right?
it had a dodgy after release as well because there just wasn't enough content for people
Yeah.
and stuff. But it's
Yeah.
like you hear just fun stories from it, which seems to be what they built it for, which is a very unusual type of game, I guess. Like I guess in the days of streaming being so important and everything, it's like let's make a game for just weird situations to happen.
Sure,
But it
and
never
teamwork and multiplayer and shit like that.
Yeah. And for there not to really be the kind of, I'm like, not that I'm so fucking into Destiny or whatever that it's like, give me loot. I don't necessarily want that, but like some kind of objective more than that seemed to have. But also there's a lot of post-release stuff coming out for it as well, I guess. So maybe
again,
it'll get there.
It's another example of these games that are not quite there when they come out, and then eventually they get there. But 2 years later for No Man's Sky, and it's finally a decent game. Like, why can't games just be cooked before they get taken out of the oven?
I played Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, I believe, on the Switch.
Yeah, I played a little
Fun
bit of that.
2D platformer.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah, there's something about it's good, but yeah, there's just something about it, like especially then playing like Owlboy and Celeste, which were platformers that really grabbed me. Shantae is good, but it's just I can't put my finger on it. There's just some element of it that's not quite there for me to really make me go, fuck, I'm all in on this.
Sure.
Like I enjoyed playing it because I like platformers, but it just didn't have that spark where you go,
right.
fucking hell.
Right.
Or
I
the
can
boss
kind
fights.
of see that.
Yeah, it's
The boss fights are okay. It's all just like it is a little just
It's just, you know what
The
I mean?
style
It's just, there's
seems a
just
little flat.
something, yeah, it's not even bad. And like I said, I was enjoying it enough, but it was more like then playing something after it that I loved and going, oh, okay, this is the shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's something about that it's not doing.
it's like
That's-
competent is but it
yeah.
doesn't really shine in any particular.
I also think that's just my personal. Like I think as just a like objectively speaking, I think it's a solidly made platformer.
Right.
I think a lot of that is just my personal preference.
a game that came out and I completely skipped over but was interested in was A Way Out. The co-op
yeah.
Prison Break game. I just never really got to the point where it was okay. The two of whoever of us can play through this at the same time.
Yeah,
But I want to find time for that.
Yeah, apparently it's great.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It's such a cool idea,
Yeah.
and it sounds like they executed on that well. And if you're not interested in that idea, it isn't interesting to you. But that's the same with anything.
It's one of the guys who made that Two Brothers game, yeah?
Yeah,
Yep.
I believe that's right.
Yep.
Detective Pikachu came out on the same day. That game's fucking dumb as hell, and it's real funny.
Great.
Really?
Yeah, I like it.
Really?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm an adult. And I'm admitting that I like Detective Pikachu. So do what you want with that.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to fuck Pikachu.
Oh no,
That's why.
you played that relatively recently, didn't you? Yeah,
Because I got my 3DS out, and it's like it's so stupid. I think I can't tell if I like it ironically or not anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's such
But anything
a goofy,
like that, if you just go with it, it's just like
yeah,
Totally.
If you're having fun, then who
Body.
cares why?
Yeah.
well, depending on what you're doing.
No, I'd say get rid of laws. Just
Nino Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom came out.
I was actually thinking
In
about this
March
the other
too.
day because I've been going in on some Ghibli films in
Oh, yeah.
preparation for going to
Yes.
Japan, and I was thinking about I guess more so the first one of these, which Ghibli actually worked on.
Yep.
But you liked this, right? You
Yeah,
played
yeah.
the second one.
Yep, I played
Yeah.
the first and the second one.
Right.
The second one's great. It's probably the biggest one this year for me in terms of playing about 5 hours and then not having time to go back to it.
Right.
Because I've heard towards the end of that game, especially, there's a lot of kind of grinding stuff. Like you build a city and you have to kind of leave it running or something because it builds in real time.
Yes,
and
which-
people complain about that a lot.
That appeals to me. If I have a month where I'm not playing any other games, then I'm going to love that.
Right.
I just haven't been in that position yet. But I love it. Visually, it's fantastic. Some funny writing, good, really good music, and great combat mechanics and city building stuff. It's a good game.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. No, I haven't played it either because Nino Timey.
I played the first one and it was amazing. Yeah, really loved it. And that Ghibli aesthetic is fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
the cutscenes are just amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to go back. It's one of the ones I missed during that busy kind of festival and subsequent kind of period.
This is all, late March here where it is a real weird time of year. We all obviously played Atelier, Lydie, and Sueli, The Alchemists, and the Mysterious Paintings. I think we've said enough about that game.
Yeah. We devoted 5 episodes to them. People thought we talked about Breath of the Wild too much. That was nothing.
When we started talking about, well, you tell them the name of this game.
Atelier and Donatello, the
Yeah.
Curse of the Mysterious Painting.
NT edition.
Far Cry 5 as well. We already talked
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, by the way, the new content, Lost on Mars,
Oh, yeah.
bloody terrible.
Oh, no.
Bloody dull. I don't know how they made Mars more dull than Montana.
A what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
right.
they did. It's so dull. Anyway, you're fighting like Starship Troopers style insects that come out of the ground, they come out of the sand.
Right.
But you can walk on concrete, tricking them into not coming out of the sand. But if you walk on the sand, they feel the tremors.
Right.
Just like the 80s
Half-Life
movie of
2
the same
as
name.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
Half-Life
gee.
2 had that exact...
Exactly the same dynamic there. So it's nothing we haven't seen before. And
Right.
the guns, you 3D print them by collecting alien sludge. I'm not sure how that works, but that's the dynamic.
It's a funny ask the season pass for Far Cry 5 since we're back on it as well, because they have that arcade thing, which is like unlimited
Yeah,
content
exactly, yeah,
for them to go like, hey, we've made like 3 shitty ones.
Yeah.
So
It's such a weird way of doing DLC where it's just like, a lot of stuff is like, here's some stuff we've added into the game, and this is just like, here's a fucking completely different thing that has
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
nothing to do with the
Yeah.
main game at all.
And
Yeah.
is in fact worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, Blood Dragon, was that for 3?
Yeah, that was for 3 or
yeah, that was in between
yeah.
3 and 4.
And that was like a full game that was released, not full price, but it was developed by the original team, and it was fantastic, I thought.
So good. And
Yeah.
Michael Biehn from Terminator and Aliens did the voice.
Yeah.
And you
Did
have
he really?
Yeah.
and
That's
the first
cool.
the first gun you get is the gun RoboCop had.
Yeah,
Right.
that
You
was,
get RoboCop's pistol.
that was a great game.
So many 80s references. The tutorial teaching you how to play the game was hilarious.
Yes.
And it was a good game. It was a good tactical kind of first-person shooter. It was
And
fantastic.
it lent into that sort of neon 80s style before Stranger Things had come out, before
Yeah,
we kind of got back into it.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely, yeah.
it was good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
April, luckily, was pretty thin
For comedy people.
until late April, where Yakuza 6 came out, which you'll get around to that eventually, I'm assuming.
I've started it,
Oh, right.
and I've played a lot of Yakuza 0,
Yeah,
Right.
which is fun.
Yeah. Would you recommend that as a starting point?
Yes, 0,
Really?
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
I want to get into those.
All of them are being remastered for the PS4 now, too, so you can go through the whole series on PS4 soon enough.
But yeah, Zero's fun. It's fun little mini games, little stories. The depiction of Tokyo, of fake Tokyo and fake Osaka is great. Like it's
yeah.
so true to life. It's,
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Great. I'm going to dive in.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
God of War came out as well. We've already talked about that.
I didn't like his son very much.
In God of War.
Oh.
Well, no, he got better, didn't he? But in the
yeah.
beginning, he was just making life harder for you. Like that
Yes.
part where he's just jumping on the bridge. You're like, what are you doing, you fuckkead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monsters are going to come out. There they are.
I mean-
Welcome to being a parent.
Yeah,
Hey.
This is it.
At
And
the
him
beginning, they make your life harder.
You love them, but one of these days,
Him
I'll tell you.
screaming at you when you're in battle as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
very annoying.
Yeah.
It becomes very handy in combat, though.
He does if you upgrade his abilities. Sometimes he throws you a bit of a life orb. Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
His arrows end up being useful too. You can attach like abilities to them that end
Yeah.
up being
Distracting
really
the bigger enemies, and yeah.
helpful. Nintendo Lab out. Excuse me.
Be careful. Labo Loco.
Nintendo Labo came out.
That's all, folks.
So yeah, Nintendo Yibbida Yibbida came out on the 20th of April as well. Still haven't fucked with any of that.
No.
I think I might go buy one tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
I'm really in the mood
Wow.
to just sit and make shit with cardboard for 3 hours.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty useful if you'd have done it yesterday.
What?
Because
So we can talk about it.
Well, I was busy getting blind ass drunk.
Hey, do you reckon Nintendo just had a meeting and just went, I reckon we could sell people cardboard
Yeah.
if we made it for the Switch?
Tommy's going to be
Alright.
sking here going like, I can fucking do it out of one of my slab boxes. It's going to be fine.
Oh, I love this narrative.
Look, I built a fucking big rocket.
Well, we will. I mean, we'll probably go into it on the actual episode that we're about to do that is coming out the week that we record this. But they
Yeah.
just,
Oh,
they just
yeah.
announced another one that looks
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Oh,
as well.
yes. Yeah.
Looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool for the people who it's for, and it's silly that people who it's not for are going like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not 10
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And could you get a whole bunch of cardboard and make the Labo stuff yourself by getting maybe the plans online.
Yes,
You can.
Nintendo has the plans on their website.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you can print out cardboard cutout blueprint things.
Oh.
So you cut out the piece of paper
Yeah.
and then put it over the cardboard
This
and cut
is
out that.
a very low stakes Ocean's 11 where the blueprints are available to us.
But you still need the game component of it,
Oh, okay.
which you can't get. I don't think you can get on the eShop or anything.
Not sure you get it on eBay by now.
Yeah.
But,
it's the cartridge.
It's a kind of e-store.
Yep. Yeah. So
also
you can
this-
do all of that on your own.
This, at least in the first week, outsold in Japan. It outsold God of War, which is
that's
the
right.
funniest thing of all time. It's so
now
fucking
it
good.
is not selling that well, I don't think, because you see a lot of them stacking up on like shelves and Targets and Big W's.
Well, we tried to buy one for this to film
right.
ourselves making it and couldn't find it. And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was like sold out initially, and then they got heaps, and now they just
Yeah.
sit there.
Right.
Yeah.
Frostpunk looked cool on the PC. I still haven't played that, but that's like that sort of city building survival game where you're on like an ice planet and you have to manage.
Yeah.
That looked cool, and I think it'd be your shit if you ever play that.
I did play Surviving Mars. I don't know if that's come up yet, but that was a fun game.
Yeah,
that
I think
was a city building game.
Surviving
on
Mars and Frostpunk are both pretty similar ideas, I guess. It might even be that I'm getting them confused. So the re-release of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Yes.
Oh yeah, where they famously made a new character called Wacky Kong?
Funky.
Funky's
Wacky Kong.
from Donkey Kong Country 3, I believe.
Yes.
Right.
He was in
okay.
the
He
SNES
might even
one.
be the first one in Donkey Kong.
I don't know. Yeah,
He's been one of the shop guys.
He certainly was not in Tropical Freeze originally, right?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. He was new
You go to his
this
shop
one.
to buy stuff from him,
Right.
but he's not playable. But he's playable.
He's baby mode.
He is baby mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Because
Yeah.
the great thing about the original was, how the challenge of it. It was really challenging getting past certain stages, but now they've just invented this guy who surfs over
Yeah.
most of the obstacles, and he's
Extremely funky.
but he's very funky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 80s kind of a way, late 80s, early 90s, rad kind of
Total,
way.
Yes.
like Super Nintendo funky. And now he's just like, oh, my uncle's so fucking weird, but he's coming round, but like he can't. Don't talk to him when he gets drunk, like Tommy.
I'd never played this game, and I played it for the first time, and I fucking loved it.
It's so good.
I just played it again like yesterday.
Yep.
I'm in, I think, the last world, which is
Yep.
the frozen version of the original
Yep.
island. Yeah, and I'm like in the 7th stage.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm
You're
near
right
the
near
end. Yeah.
It's so good, and this is kind of what I was talking about with Shantae, where it's like this has that little X factor where you just such a great platformer.
Totally.
Such a good time.
I don't know if it's going to come up on your list, but speaking of Donkey Kong, they had this year the DLC release for Mario Rabbids. which
Yes.
had,
Yeah.
the Donkey Kong environments and the characters, of Donkey Kong himself, who I think should have been in the original, in fairness. And Rabid Cranky Kong.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm playing through that at the moment. It's so good.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yep.
Especially when they kind of combine some of their abilities. Like,
Yep.
if you get the double Overwatch on Cranky Kong, I think you can... you can get
throw him
Donkey
into
Kong
the air and then he can shoot while he's about to land.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
like
Great.
Clay pigeon style.
It's great.
Boom, yeah.
I love the original game, and I haven't gone in on the DLC for it yet, but it looks cool, and it
It's
looks
great.
like the best version of how to do DLC.
And the same thing with the clearly the Ubisoft have a lot of like affection for the characters that they're working with. Like as you're walking around the map, Donkey Kong, when he's his idle animations are really funny. Where if you just stand still, he'll just start flexing to himself and just like checking out his muscles and like adjusting his tights. Like, oh, okay, Donkey Kong's kind of a piece of shit. He's like a real fucking Guido, just like check out these guns.
Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on the Switch.
You see, I really love Zelda. And indeed, Fire Emblem as well. There was another Warriors version
Yeah.
they did. I just don't like that template, that Dynasty Warriors style template. It's just too bedlam, it's too crazy chaos,
It
I
is.
didn't mind, we talked about. I was enjoying it when I got it, and sunk a bit of time into it over the weekend that I got it, and then just haven't revisited it since. But
Yeah.
It's it like weirdly for how chaotic it is. You're right. It's like quite relaxing. It's just like it's kind of like House Flipper, which is one we'll talk about later,
Yeah.
where the mess is the enemies on the map, and you just clean up the mess.
Right.
And that feels quite nice to just scrub down a battlefield.
Right, yeah, I watched a gameplay
I'm into
video.
genocide. It's so relaxing.
Just a clean field. Yeah, it's nice and white, clean.
Whatever color, doesn't matter. Just wipe it out. Wipe out all of them. Kill them all, burn them.
I think I watched the Fire Emblem Warriors gameplay video and was like, not for me. No thanks. Not my style.
They do the Zelda dressing on it is nicely done too, where it all looks
Yeah, that was what was doing the bulk of the heavy lifting for me. Was
Yeah.
just like
Right.
loving all those characters and stuff and going like, oh, this is just fun having them recontextualized.
Did you play any State of Decay 2, Dave?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think?
I didn't love it.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't love it. I thought the graphics were basically PS2 quality.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then I thought, all this kind of going out and kind of sourcing stuff and having to have a medical center, and it all felt like work to me.
Right.
Didn't feel like huge fun.
That's
Yeah.
having kids, Dave. I gotta tell you, that's
Having kids.
yeah. No, that it looks fucking like absolutely
Dog
not my
shit,
type
yeah.
of shit because that constant and it's like deliberate, but the constant sort of pressure you feel to like, oh, I don't have enough of this resource, I need to go and do this is just sometimes like that type of survival game has never really appealed to me.
Yeah, and then you like the way you can drive cars around in games that you find. The default in this game is for cars to have no petrol or possibly battery as well, and so you find a car and you're like, great, a car. Oh, I got to find stuff.
Cool, a bad start to a work day.
Very much.
Sick game.
I played the first one and it's the exact same experience and no interest in the second one. Really.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is a market for these games, and if listeners are loving it, that you're not wrong. There's no right or wrong, good or bad, but
Disagree.
something like that.
Bloodstained Curse of the Moon came out in I guess this is May. Fuck, I love that game.
Yeah.
The little 8-bit style prequel to Bloodstained something of the Night or whatever, like the Castlevania guy.
I would love a game
His
to come out
independent
called
one.
Bloodstained something of the Night.
They should change the name to it. That game has been made for so long, and this is like a little teaser of like, we get it. And so this is an 8-bit style Castlevania game, basically. You can switch between 4 different characters.
Oh, yeah, that looked great, yeah.
Fucking really fun. Just a short little thing. It's like $10, and it is super fun. It's
yeah,
just
I
one of
might
those
have
old,
to give it a go.
Yeah.
Our friend Levins was a big fan of this as well.
yeah, like it is an old style Castlevania game. It is a remake of one of them, and then I'm assuming the new one will be a remake of the 32-bit style
Right.
ones of them.
Right.
Cool.
But yeah, I loved it a lot more than I thought because I was never super into those Castlevania games. But this is like, it controls well enough and all that sort of stuff that it feels like one of them done without the awkwardness of an older game.
Right.
Yeah.
Persona 3, 4, and 5 Dancing All Night all came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're out in the West yet or just in Japan,
I don't think they're out in the West.
No.
but
Nothing about them.
yeah.
they look fucking stupid. It's weird. With Persona 5, that's the only Persona game I've played, and the music in Dancing in Starlight is the full name. They fucked the music with all these remixes, and it still sounds fucking terrible. And that was like, the music in 5 was so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to have a rhythm game based on the music from 5 and then to fuck that music,
Yeah.
buddy, you lost yourself a customer.
Yeah, agreed.
Dark Souls Remastered as well. I fucking still love Dark Souls, and that is available to play on the PS4 now. So cool.
Yeah, are you going to
And
play
the
that on
Xbox One and the Win and PC.
Yeah. And Switch soon, Tommy? Are you going to go in on that when it comes out on Switch?
Yeah, if it ever comes out. It was meant to be out like at the same time as the PS4 and everything, and they pushed it back.
Have you played any Souls stuff before?
No.
I don't know why they're bringing out Dark Souls on a console that can fly through the air, which is a notorious rage quit game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
It's going to be a few switches through Windows, I reckon.
That's a really good point. You've got to play that with those dumb little... They don't have the dumb little wrist straps anymore for the Switch that
I
they
don't
used to
think so.
pretend everyone wore with the Wii.
For the Joy-Con, I think you can get them.
Right.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, with the attachment. When you
Yeah.
slide the attachment.
Yeah.
you're right.
How many
yeah,
people do actually do that, though? Slide that attachment on?
I never did it. I took them off of the Wii remotes first thing.
Yeah.
People who've never fucked. That's what
Actually-
real virgins.
There was one mini game in the WarioWare game on the Wii where you needed to be wearing it because it just
Oh.
told you to drop the remote.
Oh.
And if you did that without it, guess what happens?
Gravity, old mate Gravity comes in, does his wicked
Gravity.
work.
It sort of lessens the impact of a mic drop if it just swings off the wrist.
Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls still good. Detroit Become Human came out on that day as well. Fuck, I love that shit game.
Yes, me too. I even started playing it again from the start.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's bad.
Yep.
And there's reasons why maybe it's like not even like apparently David Cage has been a piece of shit to that studio.
Yeah.
Right.
But bullying culture, harassment, a lot of awful shit apparently.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm going in. This sounds right up my alley.
Hate the
you
player.
fucking loser.
But
Did you play this game, Dave?
No, I did not. I didn't go in on that one.
it's worth it.
Really?
But in a way that like, do you like watching bad movies?
Yeah, I love watching bad movies.
Sick. Play this
Really?
game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Is it like a Heavy Rain type of experience beyond Two Souls as well?
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The controls have been cleaned up a little bit. It's not as awkward as those previous ones. It looks fantastic. But I think the visuals are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The writing is of a bad movie quality.
Yeah, good.
In a
right.
fun way.
Yeah, that's fun for me.
Yeah.
So I might like that.
I reckon you'd love it because it's
It also, like, and you said this when you first played it, it becomes engaging at some point.
It's weird. It's
Yeah.
like watching a bad TV show like Preacher or something like that.
Sure.
Where it's like, this is dumb and I hate it.
Yeah.
And I've watched every season of it.
Yes.
And I don't understand why
Yes.
or what's going on with me. But it's fucked and terrible and you should absolutely play it.
Brilliant. All right, I'm in.
Because the things
That's
that it
convinced
does,
me.
the highs of it, like the graphics and stuff, it's so well produced
Yes.
for this empty fucking weird thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
Right.
I loved it and don't think anyone should buy it. What else did we have here in May? Oh, that Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection came out.
Oh yeah, I did go in
Yes.
on that for the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the online play on the Switch? Did you do any of the online?
I do not know. I don't like
Right.
fighting people online.
Yep.
Okay. It was
Because I think I'm quite good up until that point.
Yeah.
It was fucked on the PS4. So I
Right,
like
okay.
if you're interested in that side of it, it's probably not worth buying. But as like a
Right.
package with all of them, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's great. And all the kind of the extra characters that you don't sort of see around anymore. The crazy ones like Axel and all those kind of the guy with the weird kind of crop top hair.
Guile?
No, there's another one. Abel, I think his name is.
Oh yeah, right.
And he's got some spectacular knee movements.
I love a knee move.
If you like spectacular knee moves, then that's
Finding
for
knee
you.
move is
Yeah.
my favorite. That's it's just every Street Fighter game up until 4.
Right.
So if you're interested in that, it delivers what it says on the tin.
Yeah, and it's got a good museum in there with like old art and kind of even magazine advertisements from the era.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, it's nice.
It's really cool stuff, like all the bezel kind of cabinet things from the arcade versions.
Oh, nice.
Like it's nicely put together.
yeah.
They really fucked people hard with that though, where it was like there was a version of
yeah.
Street Fighter 2 that came out when the Switch launched.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
right.
And then now they bring out this like
yeah.
complete collection.
You're right.
It's like
That-
they really fucked people.
That
don't-
original version was like $90 to buy.
It was full fucking price.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like their whole thing was like, it's got a first-person punching mode.
Yeah,
and it
that
was
sucks.
just
Yeah.
stupid.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
And Yoku's Island Express as well was also in May.
Oh hell yeah!
Great
which
game.
Great
Great
game.
game.
I still need to play that.
Yeah.
Pinball Metroidvania, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Fucking-
it's so fun.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Really
I haven't played that
cute
yet.
design and music.
And it's a nice change of pace from a lot of things like Celeste or whatever, where you're getting your ass handed to you a lot. Where you can't die
No.
in this. It just takes you as long as it takes.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
You lose some fruit, but that's
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
you're not coming up against a wall where you're just having to do the same thing again and again and again. You're in a pinball world, and it's just like
Yeah.
it just takes you as long as it takes you.
Yeah.
There's a game called Onrush that came out at the start of June that
Is
we
it like
didn't.
a crazy racing game?
It's a crazy racing game, and we didn't talk about this in the news last week, so we're talking about it now.
Yes.
It sold too few copies for it to chart on the UK games chart. So that means people say under 1,000.
Right.
So under 1,000 copies.
Wow.
It's like everyone's losing their jobs at that studio and shit. It's
Wow.
terrible, but by all accounts, it's a really fun game.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a shame.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
came out at a dodgy time,
Yeah.
but
Shit.
It's hard when you got Forza and Gran Turismo just dominating any kind of car market.
especially when it came out like I think during E3 or like right around that time, and so you've
right.
got Forza 4
yeah.
being advertised,
Yeah.
and it's
And then you've got your Need for Speeds and stuff that are sort of dominating the more arcadey racing
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a shame. But yeah, that game seems cool, and I might go back to it at some point. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, people who like those games say is good. I don't know anything about it. Vampire.
Oh yeah, I meant to play this.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of intrigued by it. I like the setting, and it sounded like it was a morally conflicted character, which is interesting. But I never actually ended up doing it.
Same,
Yeah,
and it's now gotten to the point where they've done a couple little updates,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're continuing to support it. Where I now kind of don't want to play it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
so
Right.
that it's the updated,
Yeah,
fixed
yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
version of
yeah,
because it was a
yeah.
little buggy apparently when it
Wait
came
for it
out.
to get cooked. Yeah.
I really liked Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines.
Some video
Is it
game names make
related?
you feel like a dick to have to say.
I know,
It's
right?
like being at one of those wacky fucking burger restaurants where it's like, can I have a chomper, please?
Yeah, it's more embarrassing that I've remembered it. To be fair, But I don't know if it's the same lineage in terms of development and stuff, but just the setting is something that I actually enjoy playing around in. So yeah.
The PS Vita got releases, of course, of the visual novel Muv-Luv and its sequel Muv-Luv Alternative.
Sure.
We remember Muv-Luv.
You
Yep.
can
Love that
forget.
Muv. I don't know what that is, but boy, do I want to see. Sushi Strike of the Way is Sushido.
Yep. Good fun.
It's a good game.
Yep.
By the looks of it.
Good little puzzle game.
But hey,
Yep.
I don't know. What am I, a fucking library? You can't find out everything from me. I want to play the 3DS version of that still because it looks like that's what it's kind of meant to be played on almost.
Yeah, it was, and then I think at the last minute they chucked it on the Switch as well.
Unravel 2 snuck out as well, and I had forgotten about that. Little red yarn boy.
Is that like a co-op game as well?
Yeah. There's two of you.
Yeah.
And if you're not playing co-op, they just walk next to each other and you switch them.
Oh, okay.
Like Donkey Kong, kind of.
Right.
Fortnight on the Switch, still haven't played it. Still not interested in that game,
Yep.
really.
People are raving about it. It's really, caught fire. That
Oh, yeah.
after
It's
a kind of
fucking
a
massive.
soft launch and not many people getting on board, it's
Yeah.
really taken over. Because at the time, I think it was overshadowed by PUBG to a big extent.
Yeah.
But now people are mad for it. And as far as I can tell from watching playthroughs, it's just building a base and fending off waves. Essentially, Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah,
but-
totally. It's
but,
like this
yeah.
game that a lot of people have done that then it got so big all of a sudden that like fucking Reese Witherspoon is tweeting about it. It's
Yeah,
the
right.
net of video
Yeah, yeah.
games anyway.
A great way to make friends with your 12-year-old cousins as well. If you
Yeah.
have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Hey, do you play Fortnite?
Apparently, every teacher, like I have a friend who's a substitute teacher, and every time he goes to a new class, the kid's like, "Hey, sir, do you play Fortnite?" It's every day. It's the
Yeah, right.
first question out
Wow.
of their mouths.
Yeah, and if you do, you've won points.
Yeah.
Respect immediately.
Jurassic World Evolution as well was
I
here.
really enjoyed that game. I have kept playing it. It's very fun.
Is that like the Railroad Tycoon type of thing where
Yes.
you're managing the park and then does shit go crazy or do they break out and stuff? Yeah.
They certainly do, and it was
Wow.
developed by the Tycoon guys.
Oh,
as
great.
well. So
Fantastic, yeah.
It, as I reviewed at the time, it's like one of those games, but with slightly less features because they had to get it out to line up with the movie. But what's there is very good, very polished.
I'm assuming they don't really have plans to update it much as well. Like I'm guessing they just moved on to the next thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mario Tennis Aces as well this month.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's another one where apparently they'll do updates. But I'd like ARMS. All the updates for that didn't make me interested.
Yeah.
So
Aces could get me back if they have proper game modes, proper set lengths.
Yeah.
I'd,
Yeah, right.
I'd be back in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm holding out hope for that. If you look at
luck.
the amount that they added to like ARMS and Splatoon over time,
Yeah.
where they almost doubled what was in the package when it came out.
But Splatoon started off as a good game, and ARMS didn't change from being the type of game it was during that period.
True, but they did add a lot of stuff that made it a lot more satisfying. Like it's
Right.
not like it changed the core of it. I mean that never happens, but they
Yeah.
they added more characters. They just like refined a couple of the modes. The online stuff became a bit more satisfying. They added like a badge system that made it easier to rack up the points that unlock new arms for you. They just like streamlined
Sure.
a bunch of stuff. But like anything, if you don't like the core of it, then that wasn't changing.
Yeah.
But it just was a much more rounded package that if you were into it, it was more enticing. It was
Right.
easier to keep. There was enough stuff to keep you coming back, which it just made bits of it more satisfying.
And that's the thing is, I'm not sure if the core of Mario Tennis Aces is like enough for me to go like, oh, now Link's in it.
I think it is for me.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
Take away the special move mode.
Yeah.
That simple mode where it's just tennis. I really like. It's
Same.
it's super fun and satisfying.
Yeah.
It's more the stuff around it, the admin,
Yeah.
Right.
the options that weren't there. Yeah.
And it's fun to play with a mate, like kind of Virtua Tennis back in the day on the Dreamcast.
That was
Yes.
a fucking awesome game. That was a great game. I played a
Wasn't it
bunch of
brilliant?
that. Yeah.
Oh, so good fun, yeah. Especially we were on the road show just playing with a tripod and stuff back in the day when it came out, and we just had the best nights. We would be up all night playing that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, good times. But and this one, it's
There were
got a similar kind of feel.
looking back on it, there were a lot of sketches in Skid House about tennis.
The plot thickens.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, great fun, with mates. But I found that game generally like either way too easy or way too hard.
Yes.
Alternately, it was I was never in a groove where it was like, yeah, this feels like a challenge for me, a proper kind of a medium challenge.
100%.
Yeah. Did you go through the story mode, the adventure mode?
I got a bit frustrated with that eventually, but yeah, I did do a fair bit of that.
I'm
Yeah.
making
Got
my
up
way
to-
through that at the moment, and yeah, I mean, it's fun. What I really love about that mode is the boss fights. I think are great.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
great
yeah.
fun. Like just that thing of using all the special move stuff and kind of turning that into into the context of a boss fight where.
Yeah.
They're throwing stuff at you across the court, so you've got to do the trick shot stuff to dodge it, which then builds up your charge meter, which is what you're ultimately using to defeat the boss.
Right.
I think is a really cool way of doing things. I would have loved it if it had just been a bunch of them, like a bunch of like boss fights, instead of the things in between where like you've got to hit fucking
Shy
80
Guys off a train.
80 targets in the space of like a minute and a half is
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like you spend 8 goes not even getting close to being able to do it,
Yeah.
and then you'll clear it sort of almost by accident.
Sure.
You'll just get lucky and be like, oh, okay, I've passed it now.
I hated the boss fights.
Really?
Because when I was playing, quote unquote arcade mode, I was just not using special moves. Even if I
Right.
was in special move mode, I was just playing tennis.
Yeah.
And so the boss fights make you learn those mechanics and you have to apply them to beat the boss. And I was like, fuck, no.
Right.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
up to this level in the story mode, which my biggest problem with the story mode was the presentation of all the story stuff. It was so annoying.
Yeah.
But then there was this level with like a rainy ship and you're fighting a blooper, or not fight, you're playing tennis against a blooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a mast in the middle of the ship that your balls keep fucking ricocheting off, and it's like, well, this wouldn't happen in tennis.
Yeah.
We wouldn't play it on a ship.
Yeah.
This game is unrealistic. How does that squid know how to? I don't know. There were little bits and pieces that are just annoying.
Yeah.
Hate when my balls ricochet off a mast.
Lumines Remastered, we didn't really talk about it at the time, but Lumines on the PSP was a fucking cool little Tetris-y
Yeah,
rhythm
I
game.
haven't talked about it on the show yet, but I've been playing it.
Oh,
It's
right.
fucking cool,
yeah.
right?
I haven't really brought it up because it's like there's not a heap to say about it. But it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just little kind of electronic music plays, and you do a little square-based Tetris thing where you're organizing colors together.
Yeah, I think there's kind of a cursor sort of running along the screen, and it clears. So it's you trying to line up, squares of the same color. There's 2 colors at any given time, and the aim you're trying to sort of get it in the beat so that you're matching it up as the cursor comes across the screen and clears it all.
Right.
away.
Yeah.
And the music's really cool. Really
It's-
trancey kind of.
It kind of blends into the next track as you go through all the different like stages of.
It does a really cool thing where you'll kind of level up and the look of the screen will completely change.
Right.
So it's like sometimes it's like it's like blue and green, and then it'll be like red and white, and everything around the presentation will change. You're still doing the exact same thing, and your board stays the same, but it just everything kind of looks different and changes, and the music changes.
Very
Yeah,
fun.
it's cool.
That's out on everything now. Nier Automata came out on the Xbox One, and that's a fucking awesome game if you haven't played it yet. But you have to be ready to play all like 35-ish hours of it. So there's a caveat. The Crew 2 came out. I don't think we gave a shit. Did you play that?
Again, it's playing online with a bunch of nutcases. I don't want
Yeah.
to do that. I want a nice campaign mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it did look like a good dynamic. You could go air, land, and water. Was that the one?
Yeah, I think so. Like Diddy Kong racing, basically.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Or,
I'm not not interested in the wrappings around that, I guess.
Is that a heist game as well? Is it 'cause from the when it first got announced, the crew? I thought you're putting a crew together to actually perform a heist.
I don't know. Yeah,
But
it's not something I've played.
Sure.
It seemed like a racing game then.
I don't know. I guess you have to drive away from a heist at some point.
Yeah.
Unless you're really brave.
Yeah.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and Octopath Traveler came out on the Switch. We've talked about them recently. Sonic Mania Plus.
Yep.
No Man's Sky's new stuff. And it came out on the Xbox One. This is all very recent stuff, so I guess we won't go too much into that. Because right now, I believe we are pretty much up to date.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And so what do we got the rest of the year? We got that Spider-Man. We got a bit of Red Dead.
Black Ops 4.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm really interested in how that's going to go because I like Call of Duty games. I'll fucking say it. And
Do you drink cans of Mother while you play?
I don't drink them. I have them in a little tippy cup that goes into my eyeballs to get it quicker.
Nice.
Do you yell the N and F word at people? That's traditional.
Yes.
As is-
Nice, friend.
And you politely hand them some Doritos.
It's going to be interesting because Battlefield 4 comes out at the same time as Battlefield 5 comes out at the same time as Black Ops 4. So
They're a week apart.
Didn't they do this last time? Sort of like very close together within the same month almost?
They've been head to head for a little bit, and then Black Ops 4 has no single player to it this time.
And
What
and
is
it
its
has...
There's no single player
in Battlefield 5,
in Black Ops 4 in Call of Duty. Yeah,
no campaign mode.
nah.
Well, I'm out.
So they've got three. Yeah, I love the campaign in them, or like I've hated some of them, but I like playing through it.
Some of them have been amazing.
It's just their regular multiplayer stuff. They've got a
Battle
Royale
Royale
type thing, and then zombies.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
know.
weird, and it's a different tack for them. They say the campaign will be back, but sure.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is out fucking pretty soon.
Yeah.
About a month.
I'm not sure how that will go. I mean, it looks great, but will it sustain an entire game? Will it be continually interesting? Will it be like the Arkham for Spider-Man or what? Yeah.
It looks like what they're going for, but it kind of seems like they're kind of packing everything they can into this one. Like there's a lot of the villains and that sort of stuff in this one. So I'd play another Arkham game. And if this is that, then cool.
If this is Arkham Watch Dogs 2, then yes, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yep. Forza Horizon and Assassin's Creed, like we said before, Battlefield, blah, blah, blah. Hitman
Dead.
2, Red
Hitman
Dead.
2, yeah, I wouldn't
Oh,
mind.
yeah. I loved Hitman.
Hitman 1 was really fucking cool. And Red Dead, I still don't really know. We haven't seen heaps on.
Yeah.
Not really, no.
That's
So,
good though. I prefer.
yeah.
I love going in and not not being oversat. Breath of the Wild before it came out, we'd seen nothing. They
Yeah.
showed nothing of that game.
And we played a bit at that event, and I didn't like
we
it.
hated it.
Yeah.
We were all worried.
And then it turns out it's the best game, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go back and listen to that ep after we played. After we had the hands on where we were all like, I think this might be bad.
Yeah.
We sound
And the
like-
Switch is going to tank.
Kevin Spacey's great in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Yeah.
Well, does that bring us to the end of this little...
That's basically it. So I guess
Mid-year
quickly, what are our front runners if we had to pick like what for a game of the year type thing? I guess we mentioned them at the start. We've got a War and Far Cry 5.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely must plays. One that didn't come up, which came out on the Switch this year, was Stern Pinball Arcade.
Right.
Oh.
Which I really liked. I really like pinball, but on computer games they tend to suck and they tend to not be able to do them well. But this one, you get the Switch, you take the Joy-Cons off and you tilt it like this orientation, and you got the bumpers here, so it's like
sick.
long. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
that's great.
Yeah, so you can change the orientation with a button. Stern Pinball Arcade is based on real pinball tables, unlike that other one, the Pinball FX.
Right.
Which are just crazy fantasy ones, which are really inventive, but ultimately not very satisfying. You don't come back to them. But
The gimmicky
Right.
or whatever, I guess.
I think are they the like they do Star Wars pinball and stuff like that, I think as well.
they had an
Yeah.
Aliens
reckon-
one. And,
I reckon that'll be a Labo kit down the line.
Oh,
wow.
The pinball
machine.
thing.
Yeah.
That'd be
Sure.
cool. Yeah.
You can do it. You can if you set your mind to it. You can program it into the thing, which you can do. You can build a little cabinet
Fuck off.
and play it with your other 5-year-old friends. That's sweet. I love pinball games. I used like Epic Pinball back in the day I was into, and I will be giving this a go.
Yeah.
Stern's great. It's like all the Gottlieb tables and the Bally Williams tables. So it's got like Twilight Zone. It's got All the classics, Addams Family.
Mm-hmm. Back to the Future, is that one?
That I think that's Pinball FX,
Yeah, right.
which is Epic Pinball. I think it's the same
Right.
people.
Did you ever play Pokemon Pinball back in the day?
No.
That was some good shit.
Really?
That was really good shit on the Game Boy.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never really played a pinball game, and I never will. So, sorry.
Fair enough.
Hey.
Not for everyone.
Got a ball.
No, that's...
No, I'm going to say I'm
that's
going to
tennis.
gut one of your balls if you keep talking about pinball.
Wow.
Is that a euphemism?
Nah. All right, I guess that's the
Yeah.
year so far.
Yeah.
God of War is a big standout for single player.
Yep.
It's
type
God of War and
games.
then Daylight, really.
Daylight.
Yeah.
What's Daylight?
No, that came out a few years ago, Daylight.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
No, I reckon, God of War and then Red Dead 2 are going to be my big ones, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how Assassin's Creed Odyssey is. I think that's a big question mark for the rest of the year because
Yeah.
after, what was it, fucking
Origins.
yeah.
Yeah.
redid that. If they slip back into their old Assassin's Creed habits,
Right. Yeah,
which they could do Whoopi Goldberg style.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Smash Brothers at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I really hope that's got another... I hope they bring back the fucking insane single-player
Yes.
story thing.
It doesn't look yet like there's going to be much single player stuff to it, really.
I mean, they've just done that classic thing where they've been... like, they haven't really... He hasn't said anything either way.
Yeah.
They've said literally, like, they've said, it's weird how little they've said for how much stuff they've said. To go
Yes,
through and
yes,
go, like,
yes.
here's
Yeah.
every minute change. Like, oh, one of Link's teeth is different now.
Yeah, yeah.
And that'd be a weird change to make. But to, like, to
Yeah,
go
you're
into
right.
that
Every
detail.
62 characters, they detailed every single
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, but we won't talk about what you do.
Yeah.
Well, when in the E3 trailer, the way they announced Ridley was that they had a little kind of CGI, the other characters kind of walking through a thing and him appearing, which is the sort of shit that they had in the single player mode
True.
on the
Yeah.
Wii one. So that cinematic existing makes me think that that's maybe part of
Sure.
that. But
Maybe.
Subspace
Subspace,
Emissary.
yeah.
Good
So
name.
Cool.
Real
if you've
good
never
name.
look up the cinematics for that on YouTube if you've never seen them, because they're fucking. There's a great one where it's like Kirby and fucking Star Fox, shooting down a giant
Oh, yeah.
spaceship and
Nintendo
stuff.
fans
Awesome.
will cream their jeans.
Yeah, yeah.
Yuck.
Dave, thanks for
Spoof
joining
their
us.
dacks.
Pleasure.
You got
Anytime.
anything coming up you want to plug?
No, I'm just being a ninja for 4 months
Great.
here in Melbourne.
Real good.
But I might do some gigs sometimes.
Oh, yes.
Keep an eye out.
knows?
Keep
Go
an eye
off,
out
Kim.
for the big Scott.
Guys, thanks for joining us. filthycasuals.com.au for links to our Patreon, our premium Bandcamp episodes, the social media stuff. Get in touch. We love hearing from you guys.
Buy a t-shirt.
Buy a t-shirt. We got them for sale. We'll see you next week. And as we say here at the end of every episode of Filthy Casuals,
Fulcrum.
Very good. Cool.